Donald Trump performed so badly in Tuesday night's presidential debate that not only did he have to go run crying to Fox News on Wednesday morning, but he's also now threatening to do two things. One, threatening to pull ABC's license because they had the audacity to fact check him. And two, he is also threatening to pull out of any and all future debates because, well, he got his butt kicked, but he actually says it's because he just did so good in the debate that, there's really no need for another one because he just kind of crushed it. So here is how all of this went down. I'm sure by now everybody has either watched the debate or you have watched all the clips of it. Harris absolutely demolished Donald Trump. In fact, the polls released post-debate show that by a nearly 2-to-1 margin, I think it's actually over 2-to-1 margin, voters think Harris won. Okay, so there's no debate about it. Harris absolutely destroyed Donald Trump in that debate. She baited him repeatedly, and he kept taking the bait, going off on these unhinged tangents, at one point screaming, "They're eating the dogs!" which of course is based on a debunked conspiracy theory that Republicans have been pushing this week. So it could not have gone worse for Donald Trump. And then after the debate, of course, Taylor Swift endorses Kamala Harris. So it somehow did get worse for Trump. But on Wednesday morning, a very angry, bitter Donald Trump calls in to Fox and Friends because God forbid he have, the courage to show up on set. So he just calls in and he says this. "It was 3-to-1. It was a rigged deal, as I assumed it would be. A lot of people are very angry about it. You have corrupt news organizations. You have a lot of bad people. It's amazing. I think ABC took a big hit last night. To be honest, they're a news organization. They have to be licensed to do it. They ought to take away their license for the way they did that." So he wants ABC, one of the longest running networks in America, to lose their license because a couple times during that debate, they fact check him and said, "Hey, what you just said is not true," or "there is no evidence to support what you're saying." So of course, in Trump's mind, it's 3-to-1 then. And if you followed the reaction throughout the day on Wednesday from conservatives and of course during the debate, they all basically said the same thing, like, why are they fact-checking Trump and they're not fact-checking Kamala Harris? Because they didn't need to. You see how that works? If you don't tell lies, they don't have to fact-check you. It's literally as simple as that, but that is a simple fact, a common sense thing, really, that Republicans can't fathom. Why are they not fact-checking the other person? Is the other person telling a lie every 5 seconds? No? Okay, well, then they don't have to do it. Donald Trump was lying. He was spreading conspiracy theories based in hate and racism. So yeah, they called him out for it, as they should. Trump didn't like that. That's one of the reasons, of course, why he was able to, prevail in the June debate that was put on by CNN. There was no fact-checking. Right? They didn't have to sit there and call him out. They did have to do it, but they chose not to do it. They just let him talk, lie all you want. We'll do a fact check later after everybody has turned off the network, which is pointless. I hate after the fact checking. You have to do it live. You have to do it in real time, and you have to do it to their faces to see how they respond, because that's also important for the voters to see. It's not enough for a paper or an organization to put a story out the next day after the people who usually don't tune in or read that paper have already left it, okay? You got to do it to their face to see how they respond, because that's how they'll respond on the global stage. That's how they'll respond if they get the job, because world leaders will call them out. The press will call them out. We need somebody that can handle that and be told, hey, that's not true, and be like, oh, okay, I'm sorry. I guess I was based on information that is either old or outdated or has been debunked, and I hadn't seen that. Thank you for telling me. I will look into it. I am telling you what I had heard and what I had believed, but if it turns out that's not true, I will adjust my statements and my talking points. I certainly don't want to sit here and spread lies. So thank you. Like, that is how you should respond, even if you don't want to, even if it gets under your skin, but that's how you do it professionally. Trump can't handle that. And that was another point that we saw during that debate, in addition to, as usual, his cognitive decline. This man was all over the place, absolutely scatterbrained, and Harris put him there. She knew how to get under his skin. She knew how to make him insane, and she did a beautiful job of it. But as I said, it's not just that Donald Trump called for ABC to have their license stripped. He then said this. When they asked him if he's going to do another debate, he said, "I'm not inclined to do it because I won the debate by a lot, but I think we let it settle and let's see what happens." So he's not fully backing out of a future debate yet. He wants to see what the reaction is. That is both good and bad for him, and good and bad for Kamala Harris. Let me explain. If Donald Trump does another debate, we're probably going to be looking at the exact same situation. There is no amount of coaching. There is no amount of debate prep, which, there's conflicting reports. Maybe he did, maybe he didn't prep for this one. Doesn't matter. But there's nothing you can do to change who this man is as a person. So Harris would be able to use the same tricks, and Donald Trump is going to get so furious, he's going to have the same reaction. So another debate would end the same way, and that would be a boom for Harris, and it would be horrible for Donald Trump. But if Trump backs out of it, yeah, that's bad for Trump, but it makes him look like a coward. But at the same time, average everyday people, 95% of the country that doesn't tune into political news every day is not going to continue to see how bad he is. That is what the debates are about. This is their chance to speak to people who ordinarily do not tune in to political news. This was their chance. Harris does need that second debate to show people once again. So if Trump backs out of it, he looks like a coward, but he saves a little face in not humiliating himself again. But if that happens, then Harris's campaign needs to start reaching out to the networks and saying, listen, she'll come on and do a live town hall, 90 minutes, 2 hours, whatever you want, prime time, on your network. Let's make it happen. If she can do that, then Trump backing out of the debate doesn't matter, makes him look even worse. Because Trump can't handle town halls. The only thing Trump can do is go to friendly networks like Fox News and talk to Sean Hannity or Laura Ingraham, who, by the way, those are two of the people, along with Jesse Waters, who he said he'd still be willing to do a debate if they were the moderators. But beyond that, he's simply, not inclined to do it until it settles. So he wants to see what the polls are going to do. He wants to see how the press is going to react. And when he sees that, when it settles, I do think he is definitely going to back out of all future debates. Hey, J.D. Vance may even back out of his debate with Tim Walz. That's how bad Trump was on Tuesday night. Hi, everyone. This here is little Athena. And Athena would like to know why you haven't subscribed to Fair and Balanced yet. So please, don't let Athena down. Subscribe today.